Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast, I share my real-world self-publishing and small business experience with you. So let's get started with today's show. Now, recently, I got these cute little things called Apple AirPods, and they fit in your ear, and they are connected with Siri, and I am in love with them. I can get text messages, I can send text messages, read and send emails while I'm driving, eyes on the road, ears on content. I can have her change podcasts, I can have her play music, I can, just lots of great things. The only thing is that it doesn't play well with Audible. And I think that's just because Apple Books is competing for attention. So one day maybe, but oh well. Anyway, but overall, it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful technology. And that got me thinking about voice technology. Now, if you listen to people like Gary Vaynerchuk, he is very, very pro voice technology, and I can see why, because I am too, and the evidence is there. And when I hear things like that, I usually want to check it out. So I think that authors really need to pay attention to this. And let's talk about one of the very first things that authors need to think about when it comes to voice technology, and that is audiobooks. I'm in a number of author groups online, and there is just this obsession with getting the print editions perfect. And while I'm certainly, you want to strive for excellence in everything you do and everything you put out into the world, but I think they're spending way, way too much time and money and attention on something that is going to go away or, won't be as prevalent as it was in the past. Now, here's why I say that. Audiobooks, according to a Forbes article that I read, is growing at the rate of, listen to this, 25% year over year. Do you have any idea how astounding that is? That is craziness. And so if you're not thinking about an audio edition for your book, you may be falling behind. Now, there are some books for which audio editions just don't make sense. And those are things that need lots of graphs and charts, lots of pictures, lots of graphics, those types of things won't do well in the audio arena. But for a straight text-based book, really, you need to start thinking about audio. Now, I do have a course on Udemy. It's how to self-publish an audiobook, and I show you how to do it with like a lot of free tools or low-cost tools. So you definitely want to check that out. Even if you don't decide to do it yourself, at least you'll have a better understanding of what the whole audiobook production process is. So I would definitely suggest that you check that out. But those are crazy growth numbers. And so definitely you need to be thinking about that. Now, the other thing is voice shopping. Now, the Alexa devices, when you shop for something on Amazon, basically you're going to put something in the search bar, and then you're going to get all the search results on your screen. Well, in the voice shopping arena, it's a lot different. So when your readers are voice shopping, do you think they're going to say, Alexa, show me or tell me about a romance novel? I'm looking for one. First of all, that sort of generalized question would overwhelm an Alexa device. Because there are tens of thousands, maybe even more than that, maybe even hundreds of thousands of romance novels out there. So either Alexa is going to return the top results that are current bestsellers, or she, or if it is a she, or her robot friends are going to return with questions. Well, are you looking for this? Are you looking for that? And this is all AI powered. So here's how I think it's really going to work in the voice shopping era for authors. They're not going to, your readers aren't going to just ask for any random book. They're going to go for a specific book. And the reason they're going to go for a specific book is because they know the author or they know the author's work. And what does that mean? That means that you have to start building your author brand immediately. You better start getting a following, because the search is changing dramatically on the Amazon type platforms with voice shopping. So you definitely don't want to be left out of that. So you want your readers to go to an Alexa and say, hey, Alexa, I want to hear about the books by such and such author that just came out, or a specific title. They're not going to go this whole generalized route. They're going to want something specific. So you better start building your author brand. Now, the other thing is that you need to keep abreast of what's going on with voice technology. Now, this little AirPod thing that I have for the ears, the Apple AirPods are about 60% of the market in terms of market share. As I'm writing this, according to some reports I've seen online, 60% dominance. That's huge. So these are pretty powerful. When you're talking about Alexa, which is the voice assistant that, now they have cars and in your ears and all kinds of little devices, but the one that's in your house. As of 2019, and it was the early part of 2019, Alexa had 100 million sold. Let's put that into kind of a perspective. There are 300 and some million people in the United States. So that means there's a good percentage probably that have these devices, although it could be some foreign. But a lot of people have those devices. And if you look at it in terms of market acceptance, it came out in 2014. As I'm recording this, it's 2019, and it has 100 million. It took the internet 7 years to get only 50 million. So voice technology is growing and growing fast. Now, if you are not keeping on top of what's going on with voice technology as an author, and you have these nostalgic attitudes that people will want your print book, or they'll want your ebook even. Ebooks have not gone away, and they're still holding their own. They're not going to go away anytime soon. But audiobooks are really, really growing. So if you're not thinking about these things and not building your author brand, you will find yourself left behind. So I hope you have found this helpful, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you would rate and review The Heidi Thorne Show on Apple Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe while you're on Apple Podcast. And I'm also on Spotify and Podbean and Stitcher and AnyPod. So, the major podcast platforms, you'll find me there. So subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you like the video version better, you just have to subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel and make sure that you click on the little notification. It's a little bell icon as I'm recording this, and you click on that to turn on the notifications so that you don't miss a video. I would also appreciate it if you would share the Heidi Thorne Show with your friends on social media. And if you're looking for my books, and yes, I have audiobooks. They are on Amazon and Audible and Apple Books. And you just have to type in my name, Heidi Thorne, to find my author page, and all of my books, audio, print, and ebook, are noted there. If you'd like to connect with me, my website is very simply HeidiThorne.com. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode. And in the meantime, have a great day.